Hello, I'm Gary Boshin from Ultimate Solutions. I'm the Director of Operations. I've been asked to make this video of how to troubleshoot and problem solve our 3-gallon heated spotter. If the unit is not running, the first thing you do is check the cord. Make sure it's plugged into a standard 3-pronged outlet. Check for any visible damage along the cord, like at the plug itself, all the way down to where it goes into the machine. Look for any cracked jacket of the cord or any exposed wires. If all is good, remove these 2 bolts with a Phillips screwdriver to check to make sure that all the wires at the back of the switch are connected. Here's an example of the cord with the faceplate and the wiring. And you use an amp meter to check for continuity. If the unit does not run still, you seek an authorized repair center. If you're experiencing loss of vacuum power, make sure the vacuum switch is on. Make sure your vacuum hose is connected securely to the recovery tank and also securely to the tool that you're using. Make sure that the recovery tank lid is securely tightened down. And then unscrew the lid to make sure that the tank is not full. You visually inspect it, or you can see the yellow float assembly has risen to the top. That means to take the tank off the machine. You unscrew your vacuum hose. You would come to this side, remove the tank from your recovery tank, and take it over to a proper drain and drain the unit. If the unit still does not, the vacuum still does not work, you seek an authorized service center. If you're experiencing no solution coming out of the wand, a couple things to check. There's an Acorn filter at the bottom of the solution tank, which is the lower tank. Make sure that this filter is not clogged. If it is clogged, simply remove it and clean it off. Put it back on the end of the hose and see if it works. If you're experiencing loss of solution coming out of your wand and tool, turn on to make sure that the pump is turned on and listen. Is the pump running? If it is, great. Then you have to make sure that there's no clogs in the system from the pump to the tool. And there's several ways to check this. You'd remove the solution hose from the machine and depress the end of the quick connect. Make sure it's not clogged. If water comes out, the pump is running, water's coming out, the problem is not between here and there. Okay. If you find that water is coming from the pump into the solution hose, you unplug the hose from the tool and you take a screwdriver and you while the pump is on, and you depress that little thing inside. If water's coming out here, the hose is good. If the water's coming all the way to the tool, you have to make sure that the jets are not clogged. That's the only other place for the cloggage to occur. So you would take a adjustable wrench to remove these jets from the tool, and you would gently blow or use a compressed air to clear the debris if there's any debris in the jets. Do not use anything metal because this is very soft metal brass. If you make the hole bigger, you will lose all your pressure. If you've tried everything shown here and you can't get the solution to come out, seek an authorized service center.
Next, we're going to talk about how to remove and replace the jets from the 4-inch stainless steel hand tool. First, you take a 1/2 inch wrench and you loosen the jet that's held underneath the head of the tool. Remove the jet and also remove the Teflon tape or the Loctite that is around the jet. Now you can use a soft bristle brush or a wire brush to remove any obstructions or buildup in the head of the jet. And an air hose can also be used to push any obstructions or buildup out of it as well. Once cleaned and you can see through the head of the jet and there's no obstructions, you're going to wrap Loctite or Teflon tape around the head of the jet about 7 times. Now you're going to screw the jet back into the tool, and you're going to tighten using your 1/2 inch wrench. Please keep in mind that you're going to want to keep the jet horizontal to the head of the tool so that a nice even spray comes out of the jet. Next, we're going to talk about how to remove the jet in the 4-inch clear view hand tool. It's the same exact process. You use your 1/2 inch wrench, you remove the jet, and you can use a brush or an air hose to remove any obstructions or buildup within it. No Teflon tape is needed for this process.
To remove the heater skirt, to inspect the lower portion of the machine, first make sure you unplug the machine from power. Patricio will show us how to remove the skirt to gain access to the bottom section, including the heater. First, he's going to remove the 2 exhaust grates, the 2 screws that hold the exhaust grate, with a Phillips screwdriver. Then he's going to reach in the hole to locate the Allen bolt with his fingers, just so he doesn't lose it. Then he reaches from the outside with a 3/16 Allen wrench or Allen driver, and he removes the Allen bolt. Does the same thing on the other side. Once again, Patricio will reach into the hole just to hold that thing and remove the Allen bolt. Skirt will now be able to be lifted off, gaining access. To make sure that there's no clog going into the heater, you want to check the solution hose, which goes from the solution tank into the heater. So Patricio, unscrew the clamp that holds the hose to the barb, and you remove the hose. Then you check this check valve. Check valve stops water from coming back this way, so you want to make sure the check valve is not clogged and the arrows are pointing in the direction that the water is going, which is into the tank. When you gain access to the heater skirt, the first thing you want to do is check the connections from the switches to the heater. So you make sure all your connections are solid, and use an amp meter to make sure you have continuity. If you're not getting any solution going to the wand, going out of the heater, perhaps the problem is with the relief valve. It's a 175 psi relief valve, and it may be leaking. Maybe leaking here at the end, it may be leaking here at the connection, and there may be a lot of water going back into the solution tank because of a clog further downstream. If you need to check inside the heater, you remove all your brass fittings so you have access to the box itself. And after you remove the fittings, you can take this off and inspect the heater. Once again, the first thing you want to do is inspect the wire connections that go to the heating elements and the sensors that protect the heater from overheating. You check for burn marks anywhere around these 4 connections. If there's any burn marks, either the sensor has gone bad or the heating element has gone bad. If you're finding out no burn marks or you need to remove the heating element, you'd remove these 2 sensors, and you turn the tank upside down, and you take a screwdriver or a hole punch, and you would pound gently on the heating element inside this tank and push it out and replace the heating element. You would replace the heating element, you'd replace the sensors, you'd check your wiring, and test the machine, test the heater.